Hey guys, welcome to episode 13 of the peer-to-peer network coding session. Um, today, today we are resuming the works on the peer-to-peer network. What the notes that I have says that there is a conflict created at the WebSockets interface and HTTP interface and signal validations trading signals module where the concept of user profile is mixed with the concept of user social profile. So we're going to work into that now. And that mixture is, is preventing us to make the proper controls, permission control for the permission peer-to-peer network. So we're going to try to remove this ambiguity. Um, so let's go to the code. Here we are at the WebSockets interface, and here is the problem that we are dealing with. When we want to get permission granted by user profile ID, we're using a user profile that is coming from here and that is originated in looking into a map of user social profiles. Okay, so it seems that the concept of user profile and user social profile is being mixed in a weird way here. So I don't know the extent of this ambiguity, but that's what we're going to focus on now. Okay, so let's make a quick search of user social profile. Well, we're not mentioning that in a variable unless we put this underscore. Okay, so probably the problem is not that deep. But let's take a look at this module. So this module represents the WebSocket interface of a network node. A network node. Before that, I will make sure that I don't have pending commits. Okay. So a network node is expected to receive connection request or say request from two type of entities. Other network nodes, client apps, let's say client apps. This module deals with those two connections types, and it is the one receiving from and sending message to those entities. Okay, so we have a socket server, blah blah blah. So let's scan this to see if we see something wrong. Okay, here we are storing a user profile. Not sure why we are doing that, but we will keep track of this. So there is a handshake procedure for each new connection, And after that, we can receive this type of messages that are requests. Okay. So it seems that on the handshake procedure, you need to have identify the user profile of the caller. And the user profile is not the app calling us, but is the app or the client app, is the user profile of the client app that is actually establishing the WebSocket connection. So we need the user profile. Okay, this is okay. On connection closed. This is the handshake procedure. There are two steps, step 1 and 2. Okay, now we are getting a user profile handle. Okay. There's still a work to be done to disconnect the profile handle from the one of GitHub. Okay. That's an open problem. I will write it somewhere for later. Okay, so that's a problem to solve. Okay. Um, okay, so the problem doesn't seem to go very deep. It seems to be just the one that we identify already. Okay, so this is not going to be that difficult then to solve. Let's check it out. So the main problem is that we are getting this witness user profile. It is a user profile coming from here. So it is clear that we need not a user social profile, but a user profile by blockchain account. My question is, are we using this? Where are we using this? to see if we need both or only one. So at the HTTP interface, we are doing the same stuff because we copied from there. This is the network. This is the declaration and the memory stuff. The bootstrapping process where we are setting this. Hold on, there are two times where we are setting this. And signal validation, there is also, we are consuming this incorrectly. Okay, so it's not being used almost anywhere else than in the places that we already know. But why it is set two times? Okay, for me it's clear that this is not needed here. This would be a map of user profile by blockchain account but using the blockchain account of the user profile itself, which is actually not needed because we are never going to be identifying ourselves with the blockchain account of the profile itself, because we want to avoid that for the problem of having to of requiring the private key of that profile to be stored at end user devices and not be in cold storage. So we're just going to delete this. Then we have this function that we are loading signing accounts, all the signing accounts of all profiles. So what we're going to do is to call this user profiles by blockchain account. We're going to replace it everywhere, and instead of storing the user's social profile, we will store directly the user profile the user profile. Okay, so this is good. That means that here what we are getting is a user profile and not a user social profile. But hold on, because there is something that we need to change. That is here. Here we will store the user profiles per blockchain account. Okay. Now, did witness user profile We will rename this by user profile by that is exactly what we have. Is the user profile by blockchain account. Which blockchain account? The one that we obtain from the signature. Okay. So then with that blockchain account, once we validate that a user exists and all the validations that we want to make, we're going to put it here. And it's actually going to be a user profile. So then when we do this and get the permission granted by user profile ID, we would be actually getting a user profile with permission because we store this by profile ID. So now everything closes better. So now it makes sense, the code we wrote. Let's check the other places where this is being used. HTTP interface. I think there is a capital L there. We will check that if we are in node operation. Right, we do the same stuff and then we process the message. Okay, this is done at every message request because there is no connection via HTTP. And then we have the signal validation that we put here at to do. So if this guy is undefined, so we cannot get a user profile by this blockchain account recover, that would mean that the social trading bot is not linked to a user profile. But for that, we need a map of all social trading bots blockchain accounts, or we need to add to this current map the cases for social trading bots. Where we have what we have done so far is that we are getting low signing account. Okay, I think we are covered because the signing accounts, let's check this. Think about this. The signing accounts are nodes that are hanging, are children also social trading bots and of application themselves. So anything that needs to sign cryptographically has a signing account node, including social bots. So that means that When we scan the whole branch of a user profile for signing account nodes, it will include social trading bot. That means that in this map we will have the blockchain account of social trading bots too, which in turn would mean that this stuff is already okay. So if we get recover the blockchain account of a signature of a social trading bot, then and we check this map, then we can know if this social trading bot is linked to a profile or not. Okay? And because at the HTTP interface we checked the application that is sending this, the mobile app, desktop app, or whoever, then we have already checked for the permissions. Here we are just checking the signature of the social trading bot itself. Okay, so all in all, um, I think that we have I think that we have completed with these changes. We have completed the coding of checking for the permissions, both at the WebSockets interface and at the HTTP interface. So with that done, we would be ready to debug the code that we have written in the last few episodes that involves all of this together. Okay, so that code is the HTTP interface permission, WebSocket interface permissions. I'm reading here my latest commits, latest changes on interval. What is this? Checking that the trading signal network server is actually running on the network node. I think this is what we could debug. We need to test all this stuff. So we will need to send signals now and run through all this validation to see if everything is working. Okay. Um, okay, so that would be the focus of the next video. I will leave this up to here so that the next video we can go through all the process from beginning to end of testing all the code that has been written so far. So this was a short one. Um, thank you for watching, and see you at the next one where we are going to be debugging all the code written and leave it working. Okay, bye.